This is the Athleta O'Rei Faz, which I'm probably pronouncing horribly as this is a Japan release boot. Comes in at under €100 and does a lot of really amazing stuff. Look how soft that upper is for an incredibly good price point. I want to start with the outsole, which is all conical studs, looks pretty damn traditional, but there's something about the way that this whole thing is built, the conical studs, the size of them, the positioning of them, and at the same time having a pretty stiff and responsive outsole, both through the midfoot and heel, very stiff and responsive, and then the forefoot as well. It's got that kind of almost slightly stiff spring back to it while giving you enough movement left to right. This whole package just makes running across the ground really smooth. It feels incredibly effortless. You never feel stuck in the ground. You almost feel like you're not doing anything. You're just stepping and moving, and you're never noticing or conscious of what the sole plate is doing underfoot apart from propelling you forwards. I think it's just really expertly designed. It's a particular sensation that I don't get that often. This complete, smooth, no issues whatsoever outsole, which you might not consider you'd get from something that looks incredibly traditional and maybe a bit boring, but I actually think it's one of the best things about the boot, especially at the price point. You'll also notice that it is riveted, so we've got a rivet up the top here just to help a bit of durability, which is always nice to see, especially on a budget-friendly boot. Going on to the upper, and in the forefoot we've got this really soft microfiber synthetic leather, some extra stitching for a little bit of structure, which is welcome because this is quite soft with not a whole heap of structure from the liner, and there is individual elements of foam under each of these sections in between the upper and the liner. So this is padded. There's definitely a classy, padded, slightly older style leather touch and feel through this toe box area, but super soft. Now it's pretty soft out of the box, and then once you've worn it a little bit, it just gets like this is practically butter. Now it's not leather. You're not going to notice, you're not going to be able to make that comparison. Oh, it's exactly like leather. It has a little bit of leather grain in it, but it just doesn't have the same kind of touch and feel as a natural leather. But again, for €100, I think this does a fantastic job. It is a little bit on the slick side, but it's nothing that's caused me too many issues at all. As you transition back through the boot, we've got quite a intense midfoot section through the left and right side. So left and right side, medial and lateral side. Why did I say left and right? Through the medial and lateral side, which is this cage, which is designed to give you a whole heap more structure. Now, it is technically kind of a transition of the same material. There's no material change here, but the way that it's been designed just means that it's way more stable. So you might anticipate that with a boot of this particular style at this particular price point, you'd get some rollover, you wouldn't be particularly stable or locked in. This does a great job of helping you be locked in, be that little bit more stable while still getting a really nice soft touch and feel through that kind of front section of the boot. However, you will notice that on this medial side, when you are striking the ball, it's a very different sensation to any kind of touching or feeling you have across the front of the boot here. It's much more solid. I don't dislike either of them, and I think this is very welcome to have this level of structure through a boot. Sometimes, again, if you get a soft upper on a boot at this price point, it's very sloppy. It doesn't really fit that well. Your lockdown's pretty poor. You don't get any of that here, and I think it is done pretty well. Speaking of lockdown, you've got this big, deep central lacing system, which allows you to adjust the boots out quite nicely. A reasonably thin most of the tongue, but then these two sections here are actually super padded. So you get absolutely zero lace bite. And I suppose it kind of comes back to that smooth outsole description. It just means that nothing is getting in your way. There's no interruptions. It's just absolutely ticking every single box. Now you will also notice that there are additional lace holes here, here, and here. Now I've not actually done anything with these, but I'm assuming it's just an ability to adjust the lacing system to suit you a little bit better in each individual area, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. It's like a really minimal version of like a Puma net fit, but I think that's amazing. My only real issue with that, or with the boots as a whole, is that you do get the runner's loop hole just up here, but as I find with most Mizuno boots, these fall the same way, the laces are just too short to pull that off. I need longer laces to even put the runner's loop in. So if I was to try and put in, go a bit wider and use these additional lace holes, I just have even less lace. I need longer laces to make this work. It's weird and I don't like it, but lockdown overall is pretty good. That brings us nicely to the heel, which is, again, it is comfortable. There's a really nice synthetic suede liner. There is a good amount of padding in here. It is a little bit wide towards the bottom of the heel, but you do feel overall quite locked in, and I've not had any real heel movement in there. It just absolutely does the job. My one issue with the heel is this design choice to have this internal liner come up and over the back of the boot. So this gray section here, it just rolls all the way over. Now, I like a turn and stitch heel, but this section here just creates a hard point just there, and another hard point just there. So rather than having a really soft top to the boot, which is what this is designed to do, to have a really nice feeling around your Achilles, what you've created, for me at least, is two hard points, one either side, and especially on the medial side of both boots, it just digs into my ankle, digs into just around my Achilles, which I absolutely don't like. And I've been trying to break it in through use, but it's kind of still there. This is my main issue, probably my only issue with the boot really, is that little section there just doesn't agree with my foot shape. I do also feel I didn't make a big enough deal out of it, so I'm just going to say it here. The lateral stability across the boot is surprisingly good, especially for a boot at this particular price point. There you go. Moving on. All right, let's talk fit, sizing, width, all that good stuff. Now, I have these in a US 7.5, UK 6.5, 25.5 centimeters, which, if you know the channel, is half a size down from what I would normally wear, which is absolutely the right decision if you want to get your toes right to the end of the boot. Now, there's not a super amount of volume in there. There is a little bit, but it's not a huge amount. So if you are worried about that, then I don't think it's going to be any kind of harm going for your regular size. But I am happy that I went half a size down, but I did find that there was a better way to get an even better fit for me, and that was by trading out the insole. Now, the insole is fairly decent. It's got a decent shape to it. The top material is okay. I'm going to take it back. It's not fairly decent. It's okay at best. It's just a single piece of foam. It's fine for the price. It's a fully removable insole, which you don't always get at this price. It's simply fine. By putting in as thinner insole as I can, particularly with this midfoot area and at the front, I do generate just a little bit more room in the boot, a tiny bit more volume through the forefoot, and that just made the fit a little bit nicer for me. You absolutely don't have to do that, but it helped me out quite a lot with the fit of the boot, as on occasion it did feel like the insole was a little bit too big. It's a little bit too wide for the boot. There was maybe a little bit too much space in various areas. So swapping out for something else that kind of fit a bit better I think worked out a lot better for me and gave me a better fit. As for width, you can get a very wide foot into this boot with no issues at all, but again, you might need some longer laces. In terms of flat feet, again, I would recommend changing out that insole because it just pushes up into the instep a little bit. And if you have a flatter foot, you might want to push out into there a little bit more. Do bear in mind that because of all that midfoot structure, it does mold and stretch a little bit, but not as much as you might anticipate. So you're not going to be able to push it out too much. So if they don't suit you width-wise immediately when putting them on, the chances are it's not going to fix that in the midfoot over wear time. However, in the forefoot, you can soften it up, get a little bit more kind of room out of it. But because it's not a leather and you have got this stitching, it also doesn't overstretch. So in the forefoot area, particularly if you have a very wide forefoot, definitely don't go for the half size down, go for your regular size, and you should end up with a reasonably good fit. The only thing you could say fit-wise, if you have a very wide forefoot as well, is that you may find you spill out over the sole plate and you might not feel quite as stable because you're not getting the full boot underneath you. If you are enjoying the review so far, please remember to hit the like button, get subscribed to the channel as well. And you can also support the channel by becoming a Boot Wizard member. The links are down in the top pinned comment and in the description. It means you get videos like this way before anybody else, as well as some huge discounts on grip socks and some other amazing member perks. Thank you very much. 208 grams, moving along. So the fit is very much like the rest of the boot. It ticks absolutely every box. The whole thing fits well, it's comfortable, it's smooth, it does exactly what you intend it to do. Whatever you want to do, the boot's going to do. It's no nonsense and it's not going to get in your way. It doesn't do anything badly. It doesn't do anything, apart from maybe that feel in the outsole, which I do love, that's absolutely out of this world. But for €100 in today's modern market, this is an exceptional throw it on and forget about it kind of boot, which is sometimes really all you can ask for is something that you're going to put on and you can trust. You can absolutely trust that it's going to do a job. I could happily have these in my bag all times as my, hey, in case I'm testing and I hate the boots, chuck these on, no bother at all. I do also have another boot from Adidas that's kind of similar to that idea and with a synthetic leather. And if you want to check that review out, you want to click on this video right here.